Welcome to Bastard Quest, a very special episode today.
Oh.
Something happens that I've waited for my entire life.
Yeah.
We played G.I. Joe the RPG.
Yo.
G.I. Joe.
Yay.
Yeah, this is a new RPG that just came out from Renegade Studios, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great, but who are you?
Oh, I was so excited I forgot, Todd. I'm your game bastard, Kyle.
I'm Todd.
Corey.
I'm Austin.
Yeah, we're playing G.I. Joe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a G.I. Joe character they made. We're going to play it. They're going to fight Cobra and save America.
Yeah, it's cool. So this just came out.
Yeah, that's
Right,
last month or so, I think.
Yeah, and we did a Patreon episode, which is our session 0, where we created our characters and kind of went over the game. We're going to do a brief version of that tonight, but
if you want to hear how the dumbness evolved,
yeah, the magic.
become a Patreon. Thanks to all our Patreon subscribers
Thanks.
as well.
Yes, thank you very much.
The guys are going to be playing G.I. Joes today. They are going to be fighting against the evil powers of Cobra. And if you don't know who G.I. Joe and Cobra are, I can only assume you got to this podcast by accident.
Yep.
So, do you guys want to talk about your G.I. Joe people?
Sure.
Absolutely.
Excuse me, G.I. Joe persons?
Yeah, and we kind of decided early on like what kind of tone we wanted to go for, because there was the G.I. Joe comic, the cartoon, the movies.
All vastly different in tone.
Yeah, pretty different. So we're going to focus a little. It's going to be a little more realistic in terms of the shenanigans that Cobra gets up to.
Right.
But it's
so
not
more like the comic series then.
More like the comic.
There was a great, I know Colin and I were big fans of it, but there was a great from Marvel series in the 80s and 90s from Larry Hama.
Larry Hama.
Yeah, great series.
Our Lord and Savior, Larry Hama.
Thank you, Lair.
But it's not going to be super dark. It's not going to, Cobra's not going to be anthraxing orphans or anything.
Jesus.
I mean, not immediately.
Yeah, but it was so goofy in the show. Just everything was built around. We need a super laser,
Yeah, the cartoon was much more ridiculous. Every Cobra plot would be some mega destructive weapon, which they would have that in the comics, but it'd be much more like we're trying to get a dirty nuke or
Right.
dirty bomb or something.
Yeah, and the comic they attack banks.
Yeah.
and thing. Try to more like infiltrate banks. Like place high-ranking Cobra people in Wall Street and things like that.
So it's going to be a little more grounded than the cartoon or the movies, but it's still going to be G.I. Joe. It's still a little ridiculous. So, Austin, before we get to the nonsense of Todd and Corey's characters, do you want to
Oh, come on.
go to your very reasonable, cool character?
Yeah, so in keeping with tradition, our characters all operate basically based on code names. So instead of like Jerry, it's Piston Thruster or something.
Yeah. Ace,
Spark
Duke.
Plug.
Yeah.
My character's name is the Heretic, also known as Harry.
God damn it. Fucking nicknames.
See, Austin, I give you all these kudos, and then you go and ruin it. Harry. Nobody's going to call him Harry. It's a heretic.
No, it's not going to happen.
If anything, his nickname is Barry.
You know what? This nickname is at least just for practicality.
That's true. That is the most reasonable nickname.
Heretic
we've
is
had.
quite a word burger sometimes.
In your defense, Harry is actually a reasonable nickname.
I don't like it. I mean, his code name is a nickname, so he's got 2 nicknames. That's
I do.
Stupid.
I doubled down.
I hate it.
We're just at some point we're just gonna call him Austin, like the ultimate meta nickname.
Yeah.
So what is Heretic's MOS? What is his raison d'etre?
I began in this world as a Marine sniper, and after I was discharged from duty, I roamed the world as a mercenary sniper for hire, and then was recruited by the Joes.
Cool. So in terms of the character class, which I think they're called roles in this game, but it's basically character class.
Yeah. I would classify this character as a little intense. But
Okay.
technically speaking, he's a ranger with a focus of, I'm going to word this very carefully, with a focus of predator.
Wow.
Yeah.
My G.I. Joe character is Chris Hansen, and
God.
And we'd like to talk to you in the next room.
Yeah.
Works in a pizza basement. That's his base.
Would you like to sample...
stop.
Would you like to sample my collection of baby parts?
Oh, my God.
Jesus Lord.
Cut that.
No. You're going to have to learn a lesson. Don't say bad things.
So
Baby parts.
he's essentially a wilderness expert in a similar vein of G.I. Joe's, like to Recondo or Torpedo.
Ghislaine Maxwell, all the classics.
Austin knows so little about G.I. Joe.
Yeah. One of the really interesting things about coming up with these characters is actually being able to classify their background a little bit and their history. Our characters have influences.
Yeah, it's cool. If you remember the old figures, there'd be like a card on the back that had a lot of information about the character and
the file
background
card.
and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And for each influence, we get certain advantages to kind of balance out the game. If you take more than one influence, for each one of those additional influences, you also get what's called a hang-up, which can just make things slightly more difficult or just add a character trait that we can kind of draw on to help flesh out our characters a little bit.
Yeah, what is Heretic's hang-up?
My hang-up, which comes from my specialist training as a sniper, is that you have an imbalanced skill focus, meaning all that practice you put into, being good at that one thing,
sure,
you've spent not thinking about literally anything else, like life skills or balancing a checkbook or, being a decent person.
Holding your liquor.
So once per session, if there is an opportunity to roll with a snag, so basically rolling with disadvantage, my character just fails that.
And if you do that, you get a story point.
And my other influence is nomad, which just obviously informs, traveling the world, never really living in one place for very long.
David Banner in the Hulk TV series.
Yeah, there you go.
His 3 previous residences are Jacksonville, Florida, Portland, Oregon, and Phoenix, Arizona.
There you go.
So this is G.I. Joe. So, of course, we have a ninja on the team.
Yes.
Corey?
And I didn't even want to be the ninja. Y'all made me do it.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
We definitely made you.
Yeah.
You did.
And I think you faced the
maybe.
challenge quite enthusiastically.
I think I said, I think there should be a ninja, and Corey essentially knocked us all down to get to the sword.
I did not. I didn't want to be the ninja. But embrace, and I'm a professional.
I've always said that.
Yes.
I've always said that.
Yeah, basically, he's a ninja. If you know, like, Snake Eyes from the show, what have you. He's a ninja, except my guy can talk. It'd be a terrible character for a podcast.
The mute.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's a ninja. He's got swords and weapons and such, and he does ninja-y things. He's an assassin, covert ops. He's been a freelance assassin for many years. His role is commando, which is more like doing the sneaky stuff, maybe killing from a distance, sneaking it around. And
Now, for the hardcore G.I. Joe fans, does he come from the same clan as Snake Eyes?
he does not, but he's a big fan of Snake Eyes, which led to his code name.
Yeah.
Which I like a lot.
Corey is so amused with his code name.
He's in honor of Snake Eyes. His code name is Lizard Lips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you should have gone with Turtle Ears.
Yeah. He's originally from Bangor, Maine.
Sure.
Yeah, so small town kind of guy.
If you're listening and you're saying, did I just hear him say this ninja is from Bangor, Maine?
Yes.
Yes.
You know,
That's my favorite part of the
ninjas
character.
can come
It's
from
mine.
If
Yeah.
they apply themselves, they can come from anywhere.
See, what's stupid?
Steven Seagal was
Yeah.
from Lansing, Michigan.
Yeah, what's so
ultimate
dumb
ninja.
is if he'd said my character's from Los Angeles, California, nobody would bat it an eye. But
Yeah.
Bangor, Maine, suddenly that's more ridiculous than
It's
a
a-
ninja being from L.A.
It's
They're
a
ninjas.
valid city.
Like, we're-
And
Wait,
Stephen
I don't-
King, many
Yeah.
Americans.
I find it incredulous that this made-up thing that's not real, ninjas aren't real, would come from not California.
Yeah. It's G.I. Joe. Fuck off. Yeah.
I think that's what's on the cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
And I
it's
had
on the book.
it was wild. There were like dozens of martial arts skills to focus
There's
on.
a bunch.
And I didn't understand any of them. It was a bunch of words and consonants.
Yeah, I think they must have Googled what are all the martial arts.
It was nuts. So I just went with judo
Sure.
because I can spell that without thinking about it.
Nice.
For any of our knowledgeable listeners, you'll know judo is one of the martial arts that's focused on accomplishing the most while putting forth the least amount of effort.
It's not true.
Is it really?
It's a fine.
Yeah, it's about like efficiency of energy use.
Yeah. We just lost all our fucking judo listeners.
That's a pretty apt description of this podcast, actually.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Now, Corey, what's your dude's hang up?
His hang up is he's not the most social dude. He's a ninja.
And he's from Maine.
He's from Maine. So basically, when I meet someone new that I don't share an influence with, so another thing I can do, as non-social as I am, somehow I know a lot of people.
Sure.
I guess from my traveling, but I think it's like work friends.
Well, you're quite polite.
Well, I've been on a lot of missions and I've met a lot of people that way. But if I don't know the person, I get a snag or disadvantage on my social skill tests with people.
Oh, really?
So you're like just a very polite introvert.
Now,
Right.
once per session, right? For a story point.
There's like a lot of shit. This was exhaustive creating these characters.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stuff about them, which is cool, but it's a whole lot. So a lot of this stuff will come up in gameplay.
Yeah, this is a...
Because we have skills and stuff that we can use to help our roles and all that jazz.
Yeah. Is there a name for this system, Kyle?
I believe
The
it's
G.I. Joe system.
the G.I. Joe. I think it's the Essence D20. Yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about the system in a minute. We're not going to get super deep into the weeds because Renegade has a bunch of videos on their YouTube if you want to learn more, and you can always go get the book.
Yeah.
But that is Lizard Lips. Todd, tell me about my favorite character.
My character's code name is Barge Hog.
A real American.
He's a real American.
For you folks out there on the left coast.
Barge Hog works on a barge. 30 days on, 30 days off. And, he's only available for 30 days at a time because, he's got to get back to the boat.
Yeah.
He's a civilian, not regular Army, although he is a veteran in the KISS Army.
Yeah.
His role is a renegade.
Yeah, really.
He doesn't play by the rules.
No way.
He is, strong AF?
Yeah, oh yeah, he's brawny as fuck. He's strong.
He's the opposite of a ninja.
That was the...
His focus is tank.
yeah.
And he has a perk. He's a pack mule. So you carry your weapons based on the amount of hands you have. Like that, all the weapons, like a bow and arrow would be a two-handed weapon, and knife's a one-handed weapon. I got like 10 hands, man. I'm like a goddamn octopus up in this bitch. Yes. And he's also a gearhead. He's good at fixing stuff, and he's also an artisan. That's one of his influences. I will fucking shred on goddamn guitar. All right, that's how the Joes found me. I was playing guitar at an open mic night doing my tribute to Dimebag Darrell.
I forgot about the artisan trait.
Yeah, no, me too.
And I shredded so good on that guitar, they were like, "Hey, you want to join the Joes?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah, I want to join the Joes."
Now,
I still got 28 days before I got to be back on the boat.
Does Barge Hog give a different background story, like different joining Joe story every time somebody asks him?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's
right.
He's like the Joker in that respect.
Sure.
It's just, but he does have hang-ups. His hang-ups are he sometimes gets absorbed by his work and misses what's going on around me. He suffers a snag on smarts and social skill test. Unrelated to my art.
And piss tests. It's a big snag there.
And while I'm actively involved with my art, and it says, my muse strikes at the worst times in the middle of the night during a firefight or worse. So anytime Barge Hog is like talking about guitar or playing guitar, he's fucking out of it.
Yeah.
Sorry I missed firefight, guys. I was partying. So yeah, that's Barge Hog.
So that's our Joe squad: Barge Hog, Lizard Lips, and Heretic.
What could go wrong?
I'm gonna guess a lot. So I'm going to talk real briefly about the rule system.
Good, because I do not remember shit.
It's the Essence D20. So the core mechanic is that you're going to roll a D20 in a skill test, and most of the time they will be adding another dice, like another die. So for example, Heretic has targeting D6, which means that if he's shooting somebody, Austin will roll a D20 plus a D6. He'll add those together, and he's trying to get a target number higher than, or a result higher than whatever the target number is. So if he's shooting a Cobra recruit, they might have a toughness of 11. He needs to get over an 11.
Right. There's basically 4 main stats in this: strength, speed, smarts, and social.
Yep.
But uniquely, the values for those aren't ever actually applicable to roles except when they're corresponding
Correct.
Attributes like toughness goes with strength and stuff like that. It's the skills below those attributes that each of the values gets kind of distributed to, and that's what basically...
Yes.
Yeah, and there's a lot of them, and we're not going to get, like, under strength, there's stuff like athletics, brawn, intimidation, and stuff. We're not going to read all these, but they do come, like, speed has acrobatics and finesse and things.
And
so obviously my
game.
ninja has more speed with finesse and stuff.
So this is also a system similar to D&D in that it has different levels. It's levels 1 through 20. Our guys are starting at 1. Each new level, you get new abilities and perks and what have you.
Raise stats and stuff.
And everybody has different perks. We're not going to go into all those. I'm going to trust the guys to figure out what their stuff does because I don't care about them.
Oh.
I'm playing Cobra. I want you all in a grave.
Yeah. And we do have weapons that we chose.
Yep.
And as some weapons we couldn't get because we're not high enough in level.
Yeah, one of the cool things that I do like that they did with this system is before each adventure, the Joes can requisition different gear. So
It's like the scene in The Matrix. So they're
That's
just
right.
choosing from guns, you know.
And my hope is that it means people don't use the same thing through the entire game.
Sure.
So like Todd got a shotgun and a bunch of grenades.
Yeah.
Corey got a katana
blade.
and a bow.
Yeah.
And Austin got an assault rifle and
I've got an assault rifle, a pistol, a machete, and an EMP grenade.
EMP. Yeah, and Corey has stun grenade. They've got some decent stuff.
Sure. And then there's stuff you automatically have, like you have the appropriate clothes, you've got food, you've got a communicator, you've got all that stuff.
Yeah, and our plan is to run a campaign of this. I mean, we'll see. I mean, it's not going to be like 100 episodes or anything crazy.
We may do it like Dune. We don't know. We're just kind of
could.
playing stuff by ear to where we might do an arc and then take a break and play another game and do a Star Wars and some other wacky stuff.
So one more rule thing I want to talk about before we start is story points. Each session starts with each player getting 1 story point. And story points or meta currency, they can gain them in the game from fumbling or using their hang-ups or just doing cool stuff like high action, great ideas, good role playing. I get the GM gets story points. He gets 1d2 plus 1 for each major scene. He gets them when the NPCs crit and when PCs act unethically. Players can spend them to reroll any one. Like if they roll a 1 on a d20, they can reroll that. They can roll a skill as if it's specialized, which is really good.
So it's kind of like momentum in some of the other games we've played.
Very similar. They can add a +5 to their defense before the bad guy rolls.
Ooh.
Or a +1 after. So if you just barely get hit, you can spend a story point and bump it by 1.
Okay.
Then get temporary.
Is this a currency that we share, or do we get our individual one?
This is individual.
Okay, cool.
So-
So it's kind of like Karma in the Marvel
right.
game, and we had something similar in Cthulhu.
You can get temporary access to minor gear for a scene. You can ask the GM a question. If I don't answer it, if I say no, you get the point back.
Okay.
You can also certain characters may also have perks or special effects that require a story point to activate. I don't think anybody has that.
Not
Austin
yet.
might have something.
Might be higher level stuff or something.
Yeah. And that's it. That's all I want to talk about the rules. The rest of them, you can find them online and stuff.
Yeah.
So this one is called Terror at Summit Station. At the apex of the vast Greenland ice sheet lies a pitiful huddle of research buildings called Summit Station. The twinkling lights of this unassuming scientific outpost would be visible for miles across the snowy fields, were there anyone around to see them. More noticeable, perhaps, is the fire that rages unchecked through the generator blockhouse. Less obvious from a distance would be the bullet holes in the front door of the main building, the blood spilled down the steps of the observatory, and the screams, the unceasing screams.
Jesus.
Wow.
We start with a plane, a C-130, coming in over a big snowy expanse. We're in Greenland. Like it'd be like a Tom Clancy movie where it types out in green letters across the screen, Greenland, and then gives the latitude and longitude or something cool like that.
Yeah.
There's a chain link fence around the whole base, multiple aircraft hangars. We can see individual soldiers moving around, but from a far distance, we see 2 Cobra troopers. They're in heavy overcoats, blue uniforms with black masks up over their faces, and they've come to look at Thule on a Ferret all-terrain vehicle. One of them is it's basically a four-wheeler with like a recoilless rifle on the side because Cobra. One of them is staying on the Ferret. The other gets off with a pair of binoculars and is studying Thule from a distance. What these two Cobras don't notice is the pile of snow not far from their position, and within the snow, we see a pair of headlights turn on. There's a burst of white powder as a G.I. Joe All-Striker comes roaring out of this hidden position. Barge Hog is at the wheel. At the gun is Heretic, and in the side seat is Lizard Lips.
Hell yeah.
Whee!
And they say one thing when they come out of this snowdrift, and I hope to God you all know what it is.
Yo, Joe.
Thank you, Todd.
Oh, could have gone Snow Joe.
Snow Joe.
Yeah.
So you guys get surprised on these Cobra Troopers. One of them drops the binoculars. Holy crap! Todd, you have the stats for the All-Striker. An All-Striker is essentially a souped-up Doom Bucky with a rocket launcher on top because G.I. Joe.
Cool.
Hell yeah, it is.
Austin is gunning the cannon on that. Corey is in the passenger seat. And we're going to roll initiative. Now, the way combat works in this, everybody rolls their initiative. They're surprised, so while they will roll initiative, they don't act. They don't do anything in the first round.
Okay.
Nice.
What dice do we roll for initiative?
Whatever, it's going to be a D20 and a skill die if you have points in initiative.
Okay, gotcha.
Like these troopers are recruits, so they don't have anything. So
Okay, initiatives under speed. I do not have any extra dice.
okay, so if you don't have dice, you roll 2D20 with a snag, basically with disadvantage as in D&D. You just take the lowest result.
Okay. I got a 13 as the lowest.
Nice.
Lizard Lips.
I got a 7.
Okay, Todd.
What am I rolling here?
Initiative under your speed. Do you have initiative?
I do, a D2. Oh.
Okay, so you're gonna just roll a D4. 1 and 2 is 1. 3 and 4 is 2.
It's a 2 and a 2.
So you got a 4. Corey, you've got the first action.
Okay.
The All-Striker bursts out of this hidden position. You're about 75 feet from this Cobra ATV.
Okay, so we're 75 feet away, so we're not going to have time for me to get up close on these guys in this turn.
No, I mean, and the All-Striker's going to move way faster than you can.
But I'm just saying the vehicle won't get there in time for me to do anything with an up-close weapon.
So it could, potentially, depending on what Todd does.
Okay.
But one thing you could do is there's called contingent actions. A contingent action has two parts. It has what you're doing, and it has a trigger. You could say, like, if we get close enough to the bad guys, I jump out and attack them. And if you don't, if the trigger never hits, it doesn't happen. But you can
So basically, it's me like holding my turn until something happens.
Yes,
Okay.
until the trigger happens, and you can specify whatever the trigger is.
Okay. What I'm going to do, most of Lizard Lips' weapons are close range. I think I'm going to lean out the door and try to use my bow on one of these guys.
Okay,
Or wait, how far away are we?
you're 75 feet.
Okay, so my bow has a range of 50 to 100 feet.
You'd be in range. I believe since you're at short and long in extreme range, I think it's like downshift 1. But let me
Explain downshifting.
No, actually, it's made the snag, but I will explain downshift. So, Austin, Austin has targeting D6.
Sure.
So that means when he's shooting someone, he would normally roll a D20 and a D6. If there's something that negatively affects that and it downshifts his ability, he'd roll a D20 and a D4.
Gotcha. So my targeting's a D20 and a D2. It would just be a D20.
If it was downshifted. In this case, it's
Gotcha.
just a snag, so it's just you roll 2D20,
Take the lowest.
take the lowest. So you'd roll 2D20 and a D4.
Okay. And what's my target number?
Are you shooting? I assume you're going to shoot at one of the Cobra troops instead of the ATV.
I'm shooting at the Cobra troop that was not the one that was holding his binoculars.
The driver.
Yes.
Okay, so he is toughness 11. So you want to roll. That's basically his armor class.
Okay.
So you want to roll higher than 11. So 2d20.
Okay.
Take the lowest plus a d4.
Okay. The lowest is a 6 and 2 on the D4 here.
So the
8.
The arrow goes over the driver's head. He had ducked down
Ah,
just when he heard the All-Striker engine rev.
well, sorry about that, fellas. Trying to get my best shot off. But sometimes the bow don't work well in the snow. Lizard Lips.
Waiting for that voice. God damn it.
Now, for next time, there is one thing you can spend what's your speed?
9.
On your turn, because of your speed, you can do a move, a standard action, and up to 7 free actions because you're super fast.
Yeah.
You can use aiming as a free action, and that allows you to upshift 1 on your ranged attacks.
Okay.
Now, it probably wouldn't have made a difference here because you had a snag because of the range, but FYI, next time you could do that. Now, the Cobra Troopers, they're surprised. They're not doing anything. Austin, you're up.
What's the name of the vehicle?
It's an all-striker. It's like a... So
it's a 70mm automatic rocket launcher.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Like, it is on top. Like, there's 2 bucket seats. Barge Hog is in one, and Lizard Lips in the other. You're like standing on a rail on the back, standing up with this turret-mounted gun on top of the Doom Buggy because G.I. Joe.
Lips, how many times have I told you I hate rhymes? And then he fires the blaster into the snow at the Cobra's feet.
He hates rhymes.
Rhymes.
It is a blast weapon. Now, you specifically have to target either one of them. You could target if you target the ATV, it's going to hit both of them. Okay. You have to target something.
Do that.
Yeah, I want to target the ATV.
Okay, cool. Roll your targeting.
Now, I have a targeting of D6. I also have a specialization of marksman. Kyle, correct me if I'm wrong. Does that mean I can roll all 3 of the preceding die of that skill, D2, D4, D6?
If you were using like a marksman weapon, yes.
Like only if I'm using a marksman weapon.
Like with your assault rifle, I'd say
don't
for
think
sure.
This counts.
It's not subtle.
No.
All right.
Yeah, the 70mm automatic rocket launcher is not a marksman weapon.
Yeah. All right. So then D20 and D6. That's a 14 and a 5, so 19.
That definitely hits. Todd, what's the damage on that cannon?
It's 1 sharp damage. It also has a blast of 20 feet, I think.
Radius
Yeah, so it's
effect.
going to hit the ferret and the 2 troopers. Heretic fires this rocket from the all-striker. It spirals out. There's this corkscrew of smoke. It slams into the ferret. Ferret gets knocked over, tumbling out. The driver's crushed underneath it. The other guy is blown onto his side. Todd, it's your turn. So the striker basically has 2 weapons. The rocket launcher, obviously, which you're not firing, but it also has a ram.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but we got one of them fellas that got thrown from the vehicle. Is that correct?
Yes, Bartok.
Well, let's ram that motherfucker.
Okay, so you can use its might or the driver's driving skill, whichever is higher. What's your driving skill?
D4.
That's actually better. So you're going to roll a D20 and a D4. And it's going to be against this guy's evasion, which is not super great.
Right, 14 and a 4.
That's right. Would you like to explain how you kill this man with a car?
I thought this wasn't going to be crazy violent.
Yeah.
Well, no. I said it wasn't going to be dark.
Oh, okay.
I didn't say it was going to be crazy
We're getting
violent.
ready to kill a man with a bumper.
It might be the wheel.
Okay.
Listeners, remember those sound effects from GoldenEye 64 when you were driving the tank and crushed someone?
Oh, God.
I did like that part.
Yeah.
All right, so Barge Hog, he downshifts into 4th gear, puts the pedal to the metal. He
Maximum thrust.
cranks up the radio, which is playing Paranoid by Black Sabbath, and just obliterates the Cobra. I mean, it's just like the impact is such that his body just explodes.
I'm picturing the toxic waste guy in RoboCop.
Yes,
that gets hit by-
exactly. Precisely.
So a voice comes over your radio. Holy crap!
No, Joe.
It's
Wait, hold on. Can I take a free action?
yeah.
One of the free actions you can take is playing a short tune on a musical instrument.
Why did I include that?
So Barge Hog gets out his guitar and take that, motherfuckers.
Wailed on.
So who's on the radio, Kyle?
That would be another G.I. Joe member, Sparks, who's your communications specialist. He's in a tower on Thule Air Force Base watching this through binoculars. Barge Hog, I think you got him.
You got that right, Sparky.
In short, you 3 and Sparks have been assigned to the Joe's forward operating base on Thule Air Base. Reason being, over the past few months, Cobra's been hitting research stations in the Arctic. Nobody knows why. And so Joe's have been assigned across the Arctic to form a rapid response element. If a research station sends out a alert signal, you guys are supposed to respond. Though you haven't had a chance to do that yet, over the past few weeks, you've basically been stomping on Cobra patrols whenever they get too close to Thule Air Force Base.
Why do they keep showing up? They've got to be like, another group is missing. Send more.
I mean, that does sound like something Cobra Commander would do.
Yeah.
So Sparks says, hey, we got another briefing with Major Jerkhole in about 20 minutes. You guys need to get back to base. So you guys head back through the main gate of Thule Air Force Base. The Air Force security guys wave you through. They've grown used to your exploits over the past few weeks.
What's going on, Sky Buddies?
Hello there, Alpha Gents.
And
Y'all want party later? Y'all come hang out.
they give you the same non-committal nod they always do when Barge Hog asks them to party. Right. So you guys drive through the through base housing, past the warehouses, to the Quonset hut and attached garage that's been provided to the Joes. It is underheated, dusty, moldy, and cold. Not the sort of accommodations you're used to as G.I. Joes. So you guys drive up, and Sparks is opening the garage door for you to bring the All-Striker in. There's a couple of green shirts in there that start maintenancing the unit. Green shirts are, background generic.
Like
G.I.
the red
Joe
shirts in Star Trek?
Exactly like the red shirts in Star Trek.
Oh, boy.
Also there is Major Adam Wallace.
Oh.
Not a G.I. Joe. U.S. Air Force.
Named after one of our Patreon subscribers, Adam Wallace. Thank you.
Also, sorry?
Oh, boy.
He is not a likable
I don't
character.
think he's a Nazi, though, so
No.
that's better than some people.
Yeah, that's true. He's not. He's a U.S. Air Force major. He is the Air Force liaison to G.I. Joe in this part of the Arctic. So aside from the stuff you brought with you, which would be your personal gear and things, and the All-Striker in this case, he gets you any equipment you need.
Okay.
And he is stingy. And he has this disapproving look on his face.
Hey, man. Mr. Wallace. Just wondering.
That's Major Wallace.
All right, Major Wallace. Excuse the fuck out of me. All right. You forget I'm a civilian. All right. I just wanted to ask you if you're the gear man. I just want to know if you can get me a Marshall stack.
You keep saying you're a civilian. You're a member of G.I. Joe. You're on DOD payroll.
I got to be back at the boat in 25 days.
You will address me as sir or major.
Yes, sir.
Now, you three, what were you doing out there? We saw an explosion from the command post.
Yeah, we killed a Cobra.
A couple of them.
You always say that. We always get there and there's just dead bodies.
Just nuggets of person.
I mean, that would seem to confirm what we just said.
Yeah, we'd like to stop them.
We're pretty good at killing.
Unprofessional. And he storms off.
I can see why they call him Major Wallace.
I'll be honest.
That's a Patreon member, Austin? What are you?
I ought to call him Major Stick Ass.
Yeah.
So Sparks is there. He's looking over the All-Striker. Do you guys take good care of my baby? Kind of petting the front of it.
Oh, we always do the Xbox. It got a little messy on the front end.
I'm telling you, you need to ask for a Hemi and let me put a Hemi in there. I'm just saying.
Yeah, he stands up from the front. He's holding an eyeball. What?
That's from one of them Cobras.
Can I have that, actually?
Jesus Christ.
Good Lord. What?
I've got written down here as one of his character traits. Heretic likes to keep souvenirs from every place he travels.
I see. Jesus.
He looks at you with a raised eyebrow and then tosses it to you.
Hey, say there, Sparks. Anyway, you could put a couple swords on the front of this baby.
I guess that's possible.
That'd be cool as hell. You're cool.
Like just spikes of swords sticking out?
Yeah, it'd be cool, right, Sparks?
I guess.
You're
It seems-
cool.
Thanks.
Always like that, Sparks.
Honestly, it could also use an upgrade on the stereo. I'm just saying.
I don't know that we have that kind of authorization, but I'll see what I can do.
All right.
Tell you what, Sparks, you put a sword, at least one sword on the front of that, I'll get you another jar of my famous pear jelly.
Okay. All right.
You seemed to like it last time. Unless you were lying to me, that'd be a bad thing.
No, it was good. I mean, I've got 7 jars of it right now, and
Okay, I can get you more.
I don't know how you keep getting pear jelly in the Arctic.
Now make it. It's an old family recipe from my Granny Benga.
He is a ninja. Don't forget.
I'm a ninja. I can make pear jelly.
They're basically magic. Just saying.
Yeah.
Basically plays real life Fruit Ninja for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
The Joes are at Thule for another week, doing patrols around the base in their All-Striker, cleaning their weapons. when finally you get the alert you've been waiting for, one of the research stations that is in your area of operations, you get a remote signal from the G.I. Joe operative at the station. You guys are in the All Striker, driving around the base. Sparks calls you, hey, we're getting a signal from Summit Station. Somebody just tagged the alert there. No communications, but just the alert going up that there's trouble. Summit Station is about 100 kilometers east of Thule. You've got two options. You can drive, or you can drop the All Striker out of a C-130.
We're dropping the All Striker out of a C-130.
Why was that even a fucking question?
Come on.
I just thought you guys might be losers.
No.
Barge Hog hammers the All Striker's gas pedal, speeds to the runway. There's a C-130 already taxiing, and you hear, "Where, boys? Come on, get in here. It's Wild Bill."
Hello there, Bill.
C-130 pilot. You drive the All Striker, speeds up to the ramp of the C-130. It starts closing. Hold on, fellas. We're about to catch some cheese.
Cheese?
G's.
Oh, okay.
G's. Like, and you see, and the Sparks is, comes walking out of the forward operating base, shaking his head. Man, he is a dangerous pilot.
I don't know. I kind of like him.
So the engines on the C-130 just go into overdrive, and he takes off almost vertically. Wild Bill is a G.I. Joe. My favorite G.I. Joe is from Texas.
Yeah, he's got a mustache.
Yeah, he's got a mustache, dressed like a cowboy. He's a great pilot.
Yeah.
He's only killed dozens of people.
Hey, Mr. Sparky, before we land this thing, there's just one thing I want to know.
What's that, Barge Hog?
Do you like the Van Halen with David Lee Roth or Sammy Hagar better?
I'm 23.
All right, do you like the Van Halen with David Lee Roth, Sammy Hagar, or Gary Sharon better?
I refer to my previous statement.
You're all right. I know.
He's probably into Wolfgang Van Halen's music.
It probably likes Wolfie. All right, you're cool. You're cool. We're fine.
So, outside Summit Station, there's a squad of Cobra troopers that have dug a trench, set up a field gun towards the direction of Thule Air Force Base. They're passing around a canteen. So the Joe's going to be coming today? Yeah, I think so. Hey, do you hear something? Suddenly, flying only 20 feet off the ground, a C-130 roars over the Summit Station.
Yeah.
And the Cobra troopers vaguely hear, "Yeehaw!" The ramp extending as the plane flies almost decapitates a Cobra.
Almost. Aw.
Todd, you need to make a driving roll.
All right. Let's see. My driving is a D4, so that's a D20 and a D4, correct?
Yep.
All right.
Okay, so you can either just back out of the All Striker, hit the ground running, or you can try to back out over these guys.
Well, I'm going to try to back out over them, of course.
These choices you're giving us are not choices at all.
Look, one is safer. So, 15.
All right, that's 18 altogether.
Woo!
Nice.
So the All Striker comes rolling, Barge Hog throws the parking brake off, and the inertia of the plane pulling forward, the All Striker just rolls off the back of the ramp, just lands on this trench. Crunch! Spinning wheels, throwing snow everywhere. The All Striker, guns it out. There's just dead Cobra troopers.
Master of Puppets by Metallica is playing on the stereo.
And in the distance, you see Summit Station. There's smoke billowing out of the generator house. There's other small buildings around. There's one main building. You see bullet holes in it. And circling around the side come 3 Cobra Ferret ATVs, each with a driver and each with a gunner or a passenger with an assault rifle, swirling around towards you guys. Okay, so everybody roll initiative.
I got a 13.
I got a 5.
So it's a 17.
Okay, so obviously there's no surprise this time. There's 3 Ferret ATVs circling wide around the base. You guys are probably about 200 feet from them, give or take.
Driving towards each other, right?
Or 3, they're like in formation.
Okay.
Driving around the base towards you guys.
Right, and we're driving towards them.
You're driving towards them.
So, closing in.
Converging to engage in battle.
Yay.
Todd,
Punch it, Barge Hog.
yeah, it's Barge Hog's turn.
My shotgun is only good up to... I don't have anything that has quite that far of a reach.
Well,
as far as weapon.
and you're driving.
I'm driving.
Yes.
So,
When you move, you can use your move to drive the vehicle.
gotcha. Yeah.
You don't have to spin. You don't have to roll drive.
Yeah, I'm gonna use my move to drive the vehicle that makes up 60 feet on the ground towards the enemy.
But
they're coming towards us as well. Wouldn't they be even shorter?
Well, they will on their turn, but you could always say you could do a contingent say if once they come into range, I will shoot them with my pistol.
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
So it is their turn. And they're all turning, accelerating towards the All Striker. They close the distance from 120 to 80, so they're right at the edge of your range. So if you want to, so you can go ahead and take your firing your pistol. 6 possible targets. There's 3 ATVs, each with a driver and each with a passenger.
Okay.
What are you shooting at?
I am shooting at the driver of the ATV that's closest.
Okay, so they're in like triangular formation. They're all they're in a line, so the middle?
Middle, yes.
Okay. So it's going to be with a snag because you're in a moving vehicle, so 2d20 with your targeting. What's your targeting?
My targeting is D2.
Okay, so 2d20 and a D2.
All right, lowest is a 15, and it's, let's see, plus 2.
Oh,
17.
Nice.
Yeah, that hits. So what kind of gun do you... this is just a pistol?
It's a pistol.
And it does, what, 1 damage?
Yes, 1 sharp damage.
You guys are driving forward. There's snow flying everywhere, engines roaring, ATVs, dune buggies converging on each other.
Master of Puppets
Cobra!
on the radio.
Cobra! And then a driver catches a bullet in the mouth and goes tumbling off the back of an ATV.
Yay.
Does anything happen to that ATV?
The passenger freaks the F out. He like throws his rifle, like grabbing the controls. Oh my God! He's like, he's trying to gain control. Do these guys have driving? Probably not. I'm going to say it's TN10 for him to... Well, let's say TN13 for him to grab the wheel and
What's
not wreck.
TN again? Target number.
Target number.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry.
So he rolled a 7. So that ATV swerves, barely misses another one, hits an embankment of snow, and you see the passenger go flying, rolls through the snow. He's alive, but he's unhappy. The other Cobras are shooting... Todd, what is your toughness?
21.
Yeah. Rifle fire starts flying through the air. You guys can hear bullets whizzing around your ears. Nothing strikes home yet. Then the drivers on the ferrets fire with their side slug electric CMF 110 round launchers.
Okay.
That's your all
As
striker.
you do.
Did we get the swords put on the...
Oh, yeah. As much jelly as I've given that man, he better put a sword on there.
Todd, what is the all striker's evasion rating?
18.
Okay. 15, 16, 17, 18. That's a hit. That is not. So the big launchers on the side of these ATVs, ferrets, start firing. Some streak past, but one hits for 1 damage. An electric-driven round slams into the all-striker, cracks the front hood, glances off the side, bends one of the rail bars. But what, you have health 4 on that?
Health is 8.
Oh, good. Good God. It's unfair.
You did it.
So it dented it a little.
It dented it a little. It is Corey's turn.
So we're at 80 feet from the closest guy?
Well, one of the ATVs wrecked after
Yeah.
Todd shot the driver in the
Right.
face.
In the mouth.
In the mouth. The 2 others, yeah, they came forward 45 feet. So
Okay, I'm going to try my bow again, I guess, just like we did in the last little skirmish. 50 to 100 feet, so I'm rolling at snag.
You'd have a snag anyway because you're in a moving vehicle.
Sure.
So
this is my targeting.
you're looking for an 11 or higher.
Oh, that's shit. Yeah, it's a 4.
Lizard Lips lets an arrow fly,
Don't let me down this time, Bo.
and it hits one of these electrically driven rounds that's being fired for the ferrets and just evaporates.
Oh, damn it, Bo.
Austin.
Heretic gets up on the mounted cannon and takes aim at the nearest ferret hurtling towards him.
Bartok took out the one in the center. There's one on the right, one on the left.
I'll take the one on the right, and it's going to be a D20 and a D6 for targeting. That's an 18.
Yeah, so this rocket shoots out, hits the ferret, the engine starts smoking, and it's going to injure both Cobra troopers on it, and both of them are killed.
Yay.
Just blasted into chunks, and the smoking ferret, which is still functional, rolls to a stop. Todd, it is your turn again.
All right, so we just have the one ATV that is still... Mm-hmm. Can I play chicken with it?
You can live
I would
life
expect nothing less.
Yeah.
however you wish.
Barchog is just gonna like shower down on that gas pedal and just keep heading right towards that other ATV. See if he can play a little chicken with him.
Okay. Roll your driving, and we'll roll it against the driver's willpower.
Okay, so my driving is a D4. Right, that's a 10.
You guys see this Cobra trooper just lean in, like, just mean mugging Barge Hog. And he's going to try to ram you.
Okay.
All right.
A four-wheeler versus...
Inadvisable.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I didn't say he was smart.
Right. I would imagine you at least have to have your GED to get into Cobra, right? They're not looking. They're not looking for
Yeah.
college graduates. or
Yeah,
anything,
you got to
but,
have your
know.
GED.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a given. Well, he didn't roll great. He accelerates the ATV. He's getting super close. They're going to hit, and then you see the guy behind him, the passenger, with just wide eyes, and he reaches up and grabs the handlebar, and they spin to the left.
Stop it, Greg!
Yeah.
Every time we.
And you hear over the gusting wind and roaring engines, "Are you crazy?" So you guys are basically right next to each other for this split second, Corey.
Okay.
So if you want to do ninja stuff,
I would. Thank
do
you.
you want to? So you could slash.
I could do many things, Kyle, but what I will be doing is extending my sword out the window very nonchalantly and decapitating the two men.
Sure.
Because we're driving right past them, right?
We are.
So I can just whoop.
Yeah. Now, are you going to try to attack both of them?
Well, imagine it's essentially like having piano wire stretched across a road.
Yeah.
Is what I'm going for here. Like it's going to slice both their heads off as they
Yeah.
pass.
So do you have an alternate effect with your katana that can hit two targets?
I do.
I'll give you advantage on the attack.
Okay.
Or
Well,
an edge on the attack, which would actually override the snag for being on a vehicle.
okay.
Nice.
So it just evens out.
Yeah, and I'll let you do an uptick one just because of the momentum.
So I got to roll my finesse. Is that correct? That's what it
Yeah.
says on here. Okay.
Yeah.
My finesse is a D4 and a D20. Really want to hurt somebody here. I'm not gonna. It's a 5.
Do you want to use a story point?
Do I have story points?
Yeah, you guys get one at the beginning of each session.
Oh, I see. Yeah, sure. I really want to kill somebody. That's a 17.
Yes.
There we go.
So we see this arm with a katana just extend out the side of the all striker, and then there's just these two heads spiraling through the air, blood corkscrewing out of the necks.
Heads up, buddies. And I nonchalantly sheath my katana.
The C-130 circling around. Woo, doggy! The all striker rolls to a stop. There's one remaining Cobra trooper, the guy who got knocked off the ATV that wrecked at the beginning. He's just running across the open ice just to get away.
I like to say we just stand together on top of the all striker looking at him before he starts running.
Yeah, he dropped his weapon and is just running.
How far away is he?
He's probably about 50 feet.
Okay, I'm gonna shoot my bow at him.
Okay.
Okay, it's a D20 and a D2 for my targeting.
Yep.
That's 21. Yo, bow.
So this guy is resilient. Apparently, it sticks him. It sticks him in the ass.
Oh, okay.
And you hear him go, ah!
That's okay. He's gonna bleed out in the Arctic.
So Cobra recruits. These are recruits. They have, if they take any damage, you can roll, and there's a chance that they are knocked out. This guy, he rolled like a 20 and an 18.
Oh, wow.
So he's really desperate to get away.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Listen here, Lizard Lips. Don't feel bad about that because, like I said, he's probably going to keep running. He's going to run into one of them there space aliens that crashed on Earth millions of years ago, and it's going to replicate his DNA and turn him into something else. Eventually going to take over the entire goddamn planet. I'll be fine, though. I'll be on the boat.
Yeah, like
Or a polar bear.
Yeah, you're Sparks. Yeah, I'm going to go with a polar bear. I think Heretic's right on this one.
I don't feel bad at all. I gave the man ass problems. That's something you carry with you for the rest of your life.
Just
One
like
should always have aspirations.
First thing they teach you in ninja school, healthy BMs. Makes for a healthy ninja.
So
and knowing.
is half the battle.
There you go.
So the All Striker is just outside of Summit Station. There's smoke pouring out of the generator house. The buildings have been shot up. You can see some blood from where you are. And we'll pick up the investigation of Summit Station next week.
Yeah. Hey, that was an action-packed first episode. That was
like
fun.
that. That
It's
just
G.I.
lot of
Joe.
fun.
A lot of fighting.
I think I can.
G.I. Joe is fucking cool as shit, guys.
I think I
love
built
it.
a character that's not a complete fucking piece of shit.
Well, we'll see.
Well, you were. It helps that you were firing a 70mm auto-loading rocket.
Yeah, I can't wait to just start trying my own endeavors.
Like magic and spells? Fuck that. You just need firepower.
Yeah.
That's a pretty damn fun game. It is complicated, but I think with time, it's going to be old hat to us. We'll be regular old feel hit.
I am impressed. I'm enjoying this one.
Yeah.
You know, and in real contrast with the Marvel game that we played recently, all the damage values are really low in this game. Like,
my health is 2.
Yeah, and you guys might have 1 or 2 weapons that do more than 1 damage.
Yeah. That's about it.
Like Cobra recruits, they have 2 health, and there's a chance they get knocked out after 1.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of big numbers.
Yeah, and those can change when you level up and stuff. I'm very excited to be playing a game where we level up and get new stuff. Yeah. That's one of the most fun things about D&D.
Yeah. You're not going to level up now.
Right, sure.
But after the first, this is, as far as I can tell, it's essentially milestone XP, basically.
Cool.
Like there's not experience points.
Right. We win the battle, the overall mission.
Yeah, essentially if you complete a terror at Summit Station, you will level up.
Cool. I think we will.
There's a polar bear inside one of the buildings, so good luck. And he is angry. No. But so thanks to our sponsor, Barrel and Bond.
Thank you, Barrel and Bond at 100 Broadway in beautiful and historic downtown Paducah, Kentucky.
It's a great place to drink.
Yeah,
Go get you some bourbon.
Speaking of polar bears,
Barge Hog approved.
Yeah. 3 people were killed by a polar bear at Barrel and Bond last week.
Yeah, but
he swam down the Mississippi.
he did.
That's the river.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he got off in Ballard County and moved cross country. Awesome.
He's like, get me
So by the time he got to Barrel and Bond, he was really pissed
get
off.
me to the confluence of the Ohio and Tennessee rivers.
Well, it was like he was going to stop in Cairo. Right?
Well,
he didn't want to get shot.
No. And thank you again to all our Patreons. Thank you, Adam Wallace, who was a dickhead general in this one.
Yeah. You've got a bigger role to play. You're going to be much worse.
Yeah. Next time we'll make you a dog. That's a nice thing to do. like Oberly.
Yeah.
But so thanks for listening. I'm Kyle.
I'm Todd.
I'm Corey.
I'm Austin.
Hey kids, it's your old buddy Barge Hog. If you watched today's episode, you know that a bow and arrow was used and a sword was used by our buddy Lizard Lips. Lesson here, sword is better than bow and arrow. Also, David Lee Roth was the best singer in Van Halen. He was replaced by Sammy Hagar. Sammy Hagar like a bow and arrow. David Lee Roth like a sword. Matter of fact, he used to swing swords around on stage because he's motherfucking badass. If you didn't know, now you know, and knowing is half the battle.